housing providers are trying to provide housing, and yet these cities are making it hard, like as hard as possible, when we're trying to help bring people in so they can stay there. And that will benefit the cities because there's more people there spending more money in the town. And yet,
They have the incentive structure set up in a backwards order they're going to get more of what they don't want rather than more of what they do want. What do
It's
you think
just
about that?
like Alliance. They're proposing this landlord registration and an extra tax on landlords, and they think that they are going to drive landlords out, which they are, but it's only the good ones that are going to leave. You're going to end up with a city like Canton. And they say, oh, all of these out of town landlords. Well, first off, I'm betting that a lot of them are not out of town. We all live right here in the county. So while I might not be in that city, they say, oh, well, it's close to 10% more people are living in rentals today than there are than own their home. So there's less homeowners and more renters from 10 years ago. Well, look at what has happened across the nation in the last 10 or 20 years. This has been
Mhm.
falling since 2009, when everybody that got a liar loan or a ninja loan, they should have never been approved. And a ninja loan is no job, no income, no assets. They should not have gotten that loan to begin with. So of course they lost it as soon as the roof leaked or the furnace went out or maybe even their car broke down. You
They
cannot
were,
go ahead, Devin.
I was going to say they were set up for failure basically because the bank just wanted to get more and more loans. They wanted to make more and more loans, and so they loaned to pretty much everybody that they possibly could have. I believe people have used the term if you could fog a mirror, you could get a bank loan.
Exactly. And we have got well, those are going away and those people are losing their homes. If they lost it even 20 years ago, they might still think, wow, I always believed that my home was my biggest asset. I lost everything with that. I'm never owning another home. So some people just
Mm.
don't want to own homes. It doesn't matter what the government wants. All that matters is what the buyers want, and you cannot get that much increase. It's just not healthy in that city. There aren't the jobs that provide the income. If the city wanted more homeownership, then they should bring in more quality jobs where people make more, and you would end up with more homeownership. And Lila is going to bring us back after this break and talk more about that.
Welcome back to the Real Power Family Radio Show. Today we're talking about the carrot and the stick. In other words, what can you incentivize people to do when you want something done? And we were just talking about housing. And one of the things that I know has become a problem is a lot of places are saying that there isn't enough home ownership, that there's too many rentals. And I think if the government really wants that to happen, there's a lot of things they can do to incentivize more home ownership. Instead of punishing people for buying a house and keeping it as a rental, why don't you incentivize them to sell to a homeowner? I mean, all they would have to do is say, look, you can get half off your capital gains tax, for example. And then people would be more willing to sell those properties to a homeowner because then they get that tax break.
I
So that would be
love
an
that
incentive.
idea. So if I sell a property to Lila, who's going to rent it out, then I have to pay 20% in capital gains. But if I sell it to Devin for him to live in, I only have to pay 10% in capital gains. I just dramatically, you're still getting taxes. The government's still getting their taxes. And you gave me a dramatic incentive. I can literally sell it for 10% less to the homeowners, just, and it brings in the same amount. So as a seller, that's a very good carrot. That's a very good incentive for me to increase home ownership. Awesome.
Exactly. And just, I can already see if they were to implement something like that, there would be entire strategies, entire groups of people that, yeah, they would buy things from other investors or wherever they could find deals and then sell them specifically to more homeowners.
Well, we've talked
Another
about this, Devin, a lot, that a lot of these houses that investors buy aren't properties that homeowners could buy. But if you
Mhm.
can incentivize the investor to buy the property and fix it up and then sell it to a homeowner, you not only get the properties that need major rehab fixed up, but you also get the home ownership you want. And you're using the carrot, not the stick.